that, we are pretty much done with most of the prologues. They are taking longer than I thought they would. Even a brief encounter when I spell it out in kind of fuller terms is taking quite a bit of time. More time than I would have expected. So, you know, given that, a little bit behind where I would like to be, but you know, that's how it is. That's how it is. So I haven't started on the part 1 that we did on Friday. So we're going to keep going though, and see if I can't catch up in writing someday or another, with all the crazy coronavirus and stuff, things that have been going on. I've been having a hard time finding the time to write as much as I would like to. Let's put it that way. But hopefully maybe in a little bit it'll slow down and I can get into a basic schedule. So without further ado, let's get into the encounters we had today. So last time we got through Seek the Keep with our characters. They had the encounter with the kobolds and the cultists. They almost all died, but barely were able to survive. So we are now encountered with getting into the town. The game wants us to run a few encounter chances as they navigate into the village itself, and start one of the many side missions. According to the adventure, we can do all or only a few of the adventures. I have a few ideas of kind of how the order should go, how many we should do. I don't want to get too bogged down into it, but there are a couple really cool ones that I really like. If we look at our story and Greenest in Flames, you can see our missions. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 missions to do. The old tunnel is pretty good. It helps us get into the keep, which is under attack by a dragon, which makes sense to do. Sally Port, on the west side, to protect it and encounter some people. Let's look at our map and see where that is. There's Sanctuary. Oh, Sally Port, there it is. The wall, it's the wall, not the port. The west wall to save it against counterattack. Which is kind of like securing the keep, so to speak. As well as we have a dragon attack, an encounter with a dragon, a face-off with a half-dragon champion, which sounds good. I want to do all the stuff around the keep because I think it makes good sense for our story to have the PCs go towards the keep, secure it, and then see where they're at and how much time it's taken, and then work their way out from there. Make sure the keep doesn't fall. It's probably the most important thing. There is a noble as well as a soldier with them, so they both know how to at least run a siege defense. A noble would have been brought up in it and heard about it plenty of times, if not directly, indirectly from the people around her. Catherine. And Boris has been a soldier. He knows how to defend. That's what the dwarves are all about from his neck of the woods. So we're definitely going to go with that. So let's start with our wander in encounter. Well, we have to do some encounter chances to get in. So they have a chance to enter the keep, to get into the town, to get to the keep area. Characters are the last group before the gate is closed and barred. After the characters enter the keep, raiders encircle it. Okay, so they get in the keep, then it shuts, then they have to go out and try to rescue people as best they can. That makes sense. I think we might want to do that. We might want to start with a counterattack first. That might make sense to do. So first we need to finish the last bits of entering. Assuming the characters are on their way. Characters... Okay, to reach the keep, the characters must pass 3 groups of raiders. The groups consist of 1d6 kobolds, 1d4 cultists. If the group contains 6 kobolds, if we roll a 6 on a d6, it has 1 winged kobold. Characters can fight the enemy, sneak past, retreat to avoid them entirely, or to try something clever such as bluffing, because there's a bunch of mercenaries running around, everybody doesn't know who everybody is, it's chaos. Maybe they can bluff their way. If they fight, combat's normal. If they try to take some other chance, if they avoid them, they run into townsfolk that they bring with them into the keep. And for each 4 additional townspeople, they have to get through 1 more encounter. So we need to roll up our encounters, right? So I don't think there's much. Yeah, I think we just generate. Oh god, and of course he generated the worst one possible. Oh, we didn't clear our... We need to clear our... Nope, we need to clear... Delete from tracker. Delete all non-friendlies from tracker. And we need to... I still don't know how to reset it. I've looked at it and I can't figure anything out. If you guys know anything, please... please put it in chat and let me know what we can do for that, because I don't know. I'm still lost for that. So we rolled our first encounter. It's a group of course, 1 cultist leading a group of 5 kobolds with a wing kobold. Now our party is pretty badly beaten. Catherine, Mara will probably go down in 1 hit. Rex could maybe survive a hit, and Boris has got a hit or 2. He used his second wind to kind of get his vitality back after the fight. That was pretty brutal for the party. It was really rough. They were trying to save some villagers, and they managed to save the kids and the mother, but Dad's gone. So, yeah, we're really having a hard time with that. What do you think they'll do? I think, especially because it's a big encounter, they just did... How many kobolds were in the last encounter? 8 kobolds were in the last encounter. It's pretty nasty for them. So I'm thinking they try... Especially because we rolled the biggest group possible, almost. I think they're going to try to avoid it. So let's get into our... Part 2 here. Seek the keep. And they're going to try to avoid as the party makes their way to the keep. They encounter bands of raiders roaming the streets. Okay, so our first group, so group number 1, a large group of kobolds following a cultist are checking houses for valuables. A winged kobold is watching from a nearby rooftop. He's kind of keeping guard a little bit, or trying to maybe seek out the next great location to use. That's what That's what we're looking at. Okay, so we'll do that. Looking nearest top. There we go. Our second one. The players, the PCs, badly wounded from a previous fight. From the previous night, just from any previous fight. The previous fight. Are not in the mood to get into a fight with a large group. I think, what was her name? Linan knows of a shop down the street where they can maybe find potions and healing if they rush and get to it before the raiders. So I think the party is going to take her advice and say, okay, let's try to get this thing first. How do we avoid if they make a check to notice sneaking or bluffing. Okay, so we need to make our party, which we have a party sheet, needs to make a skill stealth check. DC... I think it's fair just to say a DC 10, because DC 10 is average. It's a pretty easy encounter in D&D, and the game does say that everybody's pretty distracted. They're already busy. These look like just another band of mercenaries maybe that are part of the group, and unless something happens, maybe if they fail it, we'll make them try to bluff and say like, what do you want? And they're, you know, and see what happens to get past. So let's roll that and see what happens. Oh, look at that. Okay, so Mara didn't pass. Straight up 9 didn't pass. Rex, of course, with his massive proficiency, barely makes it. And Catherine and dropped the 9. They roll... Wait, Catherine has heavy armor that gives her disadvantage? I think she has scale mail. Yep, it does give disadvantage. Okay. That does cause her some problems, and there's 2 of them are right on the edge, but the armored soldier and cleric can't quite be quite enough. They try to sneak past, especially with a 1. Like he nat wanted it. Like, God, instant fail. Very bad. They try to sneak in past the group, but make too much noise as the cultist comes out of a house, and the winged kobold points to them, screaming, calling out something. Let's see, who understands Draconic? If I say, look, no one understands Draconic. So the little kobold says in Draconic, and no one understands. So that's what happens. I think the cultist calls out to them and asks, where are they going? Who is good in our party for some charisma? Oh, our warlock. Yeah, our warlock is going to use some... She has some skills, right? She has Some traits. One, she's resistant to fire because she's a tiefling. And she has thaumaturgy. So she can cause fire to appear and tremors and sounds and I think Mara uses thaumaturgy to set a house on fire. Not really, it's harmless flame, right? Right, is it harmless flame? Let me read that again. Causes flames to flicker, burn, dim, or change color. Harmless tremors, sounds. Oh, she can alter the appearance of her eyes. That's even better. Doesn't mention anything about fire, but alters her eyes to look more devilish. And makes a charisma check. Inside history, persuasion. She's not proficient in either one. In our party sheet, can we see what everyone is proficient at? Inventory order. No. I can't see who each one is at. Catherine would be the only one I think who would be up for this. She does have persuasion, but she's only got a +2, but she does have proficiency. Which means she adds her... So if she has a +5 in wisdom, +2 charisma. She should add her level proficiency bonus, so she should be +4, right? Because her charisma is +2. See, it added the proficiency, but it didn't add double proficiency, half proficiency, not proficient. But Mara's not proficient and she has +3 from just charisma. Is Catherine's charisma not high? I thought it was... She has... No, she does have +0 from charisma. Sorry, I forgot. Okay, so that's why she has nothing. Okay. Well, I think Catherine definitely, especially because of who she is. Notes. Proud. Yeah, Mara and Catherine are probably going to be the natural leaders of this group, though Boris can kind of give them a run for his money, because he's a captain. But she is a noble and gets her somewhere. But maybe in Catherine takes... She rolled an 18, which is pretty good. Maybe she says not to disturb. Does not have to answer to someone like him. And to get back to work. But they claim those houses. I think she pointing to the area where the shop is. You know? Like, where do you think you're going? Who do you think you are? How dare you address me? You know, get back to your raiding. We're going over here to take these houses. Don't you dare interfere with us. Cultist is like, dang mercenaries. And goes into another house. And you can hear yelling. He's yelling at kobolds. He's yelling at the kobolds inside. Which makes sense. Okay, so we have them going there, yelling at the kobolds. Very nice. So going at the chats, yelling at the kobolds. Okay, so that's away with first encounter. But then, because they avoided it, they need to roll a d6 to find more townspeople. Maybe as they near the shop, Rex is our clever one. Let's have the party make a perception check. I love being able to roll the whole party at once. Perception check party. We won't have a DC. Yeah, let's put a DC 12 on it this time. They're level 1. We're still getting into it. We'll go with this. Rolls. Ooh, the party all does very well. Catherine is proficient in perception. Oh, it was persuasion. She rolled 18. Rex, good God, Rex, 22. I think, yeah, they're near the shop. They notice someone trying to enter and hide in a cellar. In a basement. In the basement. And that and Linan says that they need to help them get to the keep. How many? 1d6. 1d6. How many of you are there? Oh, only one. There's only one guy. One guy. Okay. They go to him, and he reluctantly joins them. He knows Linan and the kids, so he's willing to go once he hears their voice. Okay, so he joins them. I want them to make it to the shop. So let's say they make it to the shop. And let's see, how many potions are there? Let's roll a d4. Let's roll a d6. A 1d6. And see how many potions there are in... Oh, there's 2. There's 2d shop and find 2 potions of healing left in the shop. It doesn't look raided, but stocks are low. Maybe someone else took it as they fled, and there's just one or two that they've left behind or something. Sounds good. Probably. Okay, so they've made swap, so we need to figure out what they're going to do with the potions. I think they're going to give it to the most damaged. So items. Now I did look up how to do potions, and people said that what you really need to do is just add a new spell to make your own spell and make it a potion. I didn't have a chance to do that, so we'll have to keep doing it the old-fashioned way today. Healing. Potion of healing, player's handbook. 2d4 plus 2. 9. 9 and 6. So Catherine gets 9. That's the wrong sheet. Well, she only had 7 wounds, so she's up to 0. Mara is down to 1 wound. Rex has 5, and Boris has 1 hit point off. Okay, we're good. So they, it's like potion low. Mara and Catherine are given the potions to drink. That should do it. Okay. They manage. I mean, it's a general store. Do they find anything else valuable worth saving? I don't really think so. I don't see why they would find anything too valuable in the shop that they don't already have. It's a basic shop. They're level 1 adventurers. They've got all this stuff. Potions, and they head out for the keep. Dialogue with characters. Let's see, maybe something. I don't know. Maybe some NPCs grab some stuff and talk a bit. Have to see what happens about that. I think we're ready for our second encounter. They have to do 3 of them. Yes, 3 of them, unless they get over 4 villagers. And right now we're only at 1, so we're okay. So let's bring up our encounter. Generate the encounter. Are we really rolling that high? We rolled 2d6s and got 6 on both of them. Okay. I think this time they have to fight. They've got to fight. I think the winged kobold sees them helping, not capturing the villagers, and sounds the alarm. So as they exit, or as they're almost out of the shop, they get attacked basically. Kobolds and 2 cultists come out of the house. Come out of not the house, of houses nearby and attack. Okay, so I don't think there's a map for this encounter. But first we need to go to our party, our XP. We need to put this group into our... Oh, that's not the right one. Where's our encounter? There it is. This one in here. 225 experience. This is almost as bad as the last one was. To see Hoard 2. Oh boy. Okay. We will add them to the combat tracker. There we go. And see, it does do that. It rolls the same initiative for every single